The DTPA here in Texas makes it very easy for us consumers to file claims and make this process easy. Because I know we as consumers, we hear the word lawsuit or litigation, and dollar bills and money signs are going through our head because litigation and lawsuits cost money, right? So the nice thing about the DTPA and what it provides for consumers is really two things. Number one is it provides for the prevailing party. So you as a plaintiff, if you prevail, you have a legitimate claim. The insurance company has violated one of these things I'm going to talk about in a little bit. Then you prevail, they pay your attorney's fees and cost. All right. Number two is that you may be entitled to up to 3 times your actual damages, right? So if the insurance company is found to have knowingly or intentionally violated one of these later steps that I'm going to mention, then you may be entitled to 3 times those damages. So these are things a insurance company or a business need to keep in mind when they decide to underpay, not pay, or not comply with the terms of your policy, right? Because even if they know that you as a consumer might not be able to afford a lawsuit or to litigate this claim, look, they have to keep in mind that I might be responsible for 3 times these damages if I don't pay this legitimate claim. And on top of that, I pay their attorney fees, my attorney fees, and the cost. So this is meant to be a deterrent for businesses such as insurance companies from getting involved in these deceptive practices, right? It's meant to protect us consumers and give us an avenue to easily remedy any kind of violation. So let's talk about those insurance code violations. So number one, from the time you file a claim under your insurance policy, generally speaking, that insurance company has 15 days, just over 2 weeks, to acknowledge receipt of that claim. And they also, in that acknowledgement, they need to ask for any kind of documents or any kind of material that might help or that they might require in their investigation of the claim to start their investigation, right? So now, once they commence this investigation, so after they request these documents and they're in receipt of them, they then commence the investigation. Now, from the time they commence this investigation, now they have 15 days to affirm or deny the policy. Now, this is generally, there are certain circumstances, such as like arson, which this law is not really geared towards, but generally speaking, it's going to be 15 days, right? So 15 days to acknowledge receipt and request any kind of information they may need to properly investigate. Then once they start that investigation, another 15 days to affirm or deny your claim. Okay, so best case scenario now is that they affirm your claim, right? And they pay it. If not, if they deny it, or if they underpay it or slow pay it, then you have certain rights and remedies under the DTPA, the Deceptive Trade Practices Act, all right? So if they do affirm it, understand that they have 5 business days to pay that claim. So if they don't pay in those 5 days, they pay it after 5 business days, you still would have a claim under the DTPA. So let's talk about the steps you need to take to make a claim under the DTPA. All right, number one and most important, all right, you can't just go filing a lawsuit. You have to send a demand letter, a 60-day notice, all right? So 60 days before you can even think about filing a lawsuit, you must send this demand letter to the insurance company that does 3 things, all right? That demand letter needs to, number one, state the act or the omission that occurred that that brings rise to this claim, that gives you reason that you think you have a claim, right? Number 2, it needs to allege the specific amount of damages that you're seeking, what you think you're entitled to. And number 3, it needs to state the reasonable amount of attorney's fees that have been incurred up to this point, right? Up to the point of that demand letter. Those three things need to be specified, and there needs to be a little specificity in those statements, right? You can't just go saying, you have not complied with my insurance policy, therefore I'm going to sue you if you don't do something, right? That's not going to fly. So those three things, very important that they are in that demand letter. Now, that 60-day period is really meant to encourage settlement.